Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of The Resume Whisperer. I'm your host, JosefStetter, and thank you for listening and tuning in. So, continuing with the theme of what it takes to be successful, both as an employee and as an entrepreneur. What are people looking for? What are needed? Today, we actually have a very special guest. He's not only a friend, but a dear friend and dear mentor of mine. His name is Robert J. Moore, a seasoned professional who has been prominently featured on Forbes, Disrupt, and many other media. He's an internationally awarded bestseller and the founder of Next Level Coaching. Robert played a key role in achieving Guinness World Record and Global Recognition Award. He's also impacted numerous lives through his coaching programs. Over the past 15 years, Robert has elevated high-end mastermind programs to global recognition, becoming a sought-after teacher and individual, ranging from beginners to experts. He has one of the most fascinating stories that you've probably heard. He's worked with people like Jack Canfield, Lex Brown, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas, Douglas Vermeeren, and Armand Morin. In addition to his coaching accolade, Robert has earned a noteworthy awards, including 9 for his 2023 documentary titled Reinventing Freedom. This documentary chronicles Robert J. Moore's inspirational journey from homeless and prison to achieving recognition in Forbes. It serves as a testament to his resilience and triumph. Recently, April 2024, Robert was awarded the Legends of Coaching Awards by Forbes Business Awards. Let's welcome Robert J. Moore to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Excellent. So, fascinating story. Let's start a little bit with you telling us, you mentioned homeless, prison, kind of changing the world. So tell me a little bit about how that happened, because I think for a lot of our listeners, being kind of unemployed, being in a minimum wage job, being in a rut is kind of like, I'll never get anywhere mindset type of thing. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into
that mindset is definitely something embedded in your brain when you're growing up with that. I mean, I was told I was never going to be anybody, never going to become anybody. And because I was always in and out of trouble. I mean, I did 17 years in and out of prison. I was a drug addict, alcoholic. I was working for the bikers, the mafia, and all them people. I wanted to be somebody, you know what I mean? So I wanted to fit in somewhere. Fortunately, where I fit in was a jail at the time, because every time I did something, I'd go to jail. And I kind of find it would save my life because of the amount of drugs and alcohol I was doing. So, I mean, I was drinking for a lot of years, since age 13. 13 years old, I had my first stubby. It was OV. And I'll tell you, man, that stuff tastes like sandpaper. But then I also changed it to the about 50 stubby. And that there didn't taste much better. But I'll tell you something. When I was going up the stairs to get my dad a few beers and his friends a few beers on the weekends, I let that big belch out. And I started feeling, wow, that felt pretty good. For some reason, it made me feel invincible. And it made me feel like I could be somebody. I could fit in, you know what I mean? Because I saw all my dad's friends out there having a good time. There was no fights. There were some serious people there. I mean, they all had Harley Davidsons, and my dad had a 45 Indian suicide shift. There was just a few, incidents, but never any big fights or anything. My dad would never let me see that part of it. You know what I mean? But he was never wearing colors or anything like that. He was just, just somebody that hung around the people that did. And so, needless to say, I got in trouble at an early age. I was starting to get really early. I OD'd at 15 years old on doing hot knives. Actually, it was kind of funny. It was hot knives I OD'd on, and plus doing some weed. I guess they had a mixture of something in it. And they took me to the hospital, and I got grounded for a long time. I got tired of getting grounded. Every time my brother Jay would do something or my brother Tom would do something, I get grounded. They blame me. I just get grounded. And we lived in Mississauga, Clarkson, Ontario, Canada at that time. It wasn't fun because I would have no TV in my room, no radio. I just have to sit down and do my homework that I had to do. So, I mean, I'd always looking for something to do. So I'd sneak out the window and go out with my friends, and never thought about how I was going to get back in. But luckily I had people down the hall. Now, it was kind of weird. Upstairs, you have it's like a townhouse, a regular townhouse, but in the basement, you can get in the one door and go downstairs into a basement. Like there's a basement with a door in it. It's like a big hallway. It's a real scary hallway. Everybody thought it was scary. You can go in through that way. I always used to leave a key hidden for that door. And I let my friends tell me, hey, no problem, let me in. You know what I mean? I get in through that door and I sneak upstairs. And nobody'd ever know I was actually gone. It was weird.
So, crazy childhood. Then what was your aha moment? So what was your aha moment to kind of go, I need to change? And I know that when you had that aha moment,
for a long time after that.
You also decide to get out. So tell us a little bit about that, because I want the listener to understand, how important it is to make sure that you shift your mindset and start taking action to improve and change.
Problem is, well, if you want to shift the mindset, and that, I mean, you're doing a big leap. Right where you're at there when I was talking about sneaking in and out, I was talking about more or less getting into problems and that. But I mean, when I talk about the ha moment, you're talking about leaping from basically 13 years old to 31 years old. But I'm talking, you got to crunch it down real quick for 2 minutes inside in order to let people understand where that comes from, that aha moment. I wasn't feeling the void at home. I didn't feel like I fit in. So I ran away at 15. And before I ran away, I actually got kicked out of school for life. And I was 15 years old. My birthday was coming up on May 29th, which was yesterday, but not yesterday. I got kicked out. It was years ago when I was 15. When I was 15 years old, I ended up getting kicked out of school for life because I put one of the people in the garbage can and I sat on it because he was bullying my brother. So I wanted to make sure he understood I wasn't going to take that. So when I was kicked out of there, I started seeing, okay, well, now I'm being recognized for something I like. I like the feeling of being recognized. So then I started collecting. I started doing all these bad things, going in and out of jail. And I was in with some pretty dangerous people, like really dangerous. I mean, I'm talking in and out 17 years. Finally, I mean, it got up to that age. So now I'm leading you to the age where I got the aha moment. And I was stabbed. I was stabbed in my chest. I had 44 staples from knife fights. I had baseball bats. I had guns, knives, you name it. We went through it all. And I've sat there and seen some of the wildest things in my life. We broke into a beer store once. This is right before the aha moment. We broke into a beer store once, and we're sitting inside there drinking because we're alcoholics and drug addicts. So we're sitting there drinking, and next thing you know, we hear sirens. So the other guy I was with got up and ran through the big plain glass window, and stepped on the other side of that window was a post. So he ran right into the post and knocked himself out cold. I went through the door and I said, see ya. I never ever did get caught for that. He did. He did the time for it, so he never ratted me out. It was pretty cool. And then not long after that, I got stabbed in a fight. I was in the hospital, and I was looking at manslaughter charges. So they were looking at another 12 years for me on top of the 17 I just did. And it was like, man, do I really want to go through this again? Am I really going to survive this anymore? Because times have changed when you go to jail. It was pretty comfortable when you're going in. All those years I was going in. But as time goes on, like today, it's being called like gladiator school. Everybody has something to prove to somebody else. So the minute you go in there, if you're not fighting your way to the door and proving, hey, you could stand up for yourself, then you're going to get killed and bullied or whatever. And I didn't want that life anymore. It took me a long time when I was inside the courtroom. I went to the bathroom. I said, "Look, I need to go to the bathroom." I gave my mom my leather coat, all my pockets in my pockets, because I knew I was going. I knew I was going. They were looking at 12 years. There's no way out of it. I went to the bathroom. I sat there. I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just wanted to be alone for a few minutes. And I said, "Look, come on, man." I said, "There's a God out there, man. There's no need for this. There's no need for doing another 12 years. I can't do it, man. I can't do no more of this." So when I went in there next, it was really weird because the Crown looked over and said, "Listen, we like to drop the manslaughter charges because we can't prove anything. All we prove is a bunch of blood was all over the place, and everybody's got different stories, and we have no way of proving this. But we like to ask him to admit to the breaches. We'll give him 45 days, and he has to leave town within 10 days after release, and he's not allowed back to live." And obviously, I'm going to agree to that. I said, "Yeah, hello. Yeah, I definitely will agree to that." So that was like an aha moment. At the same time, I was still drinking when I got out and saying, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." But I mean, it was still always stuck in my mind that, I was scared shitless. So when I did get clean and sober for the last time, and this is when I was going in, I called in for a crisis bed in Brampton. I was walking in to go get it. I'm on the bus. I had to get on the bus to go to the detox. And there was a lady on the bus. I guess I conned $20 out of it. I can't remember what I said to her, but I got $20 off her. And I thought to myself, well, I might as well go in. I might as well go in drunk. And then I heard my buddy just got out of jail. And I said, well, maybe I should go see him and tie a nice one on before I go into detox. Alcoholic thinking, right? One more time. All of a sudden, I get off the bus and start walking towards a detox or towards the hospital, because you have to go in the hospital first to make sure you're okay to get admitted to the detox because of the amount of drugs and alcohol I was on. What happened was I saw a little girl, and I was talking to myself like I am right now, but not to a camera, obviously, but out in the air, just walking along towards the hospital. And I heard this little girl say, "He needs help." And I didn't clue in that second, but I heard it. Right. So I turned around and I said, "Wow." And I ran over to the lady I saw the little kid with. And I said, "Ma'am, where's the little girl that was just with you?" And she said, "I didn't have a little girl. I don't have a little girl. And what are you talking about?" And it was like, whoa, wait a minute here. This is weird. I got myself into the hospital and they said, "We were waiting for you." So they kept me overnight there to make sure I'm okay, and then sent me off a detox. Now the detox, I said, "Listen, I want to get into treatment right away." They said, "Well, you're going to have to stay about 3 months. And normally you stay a week and you're fine and you run always. That's the way you work it. I mean, you've done it for years." So when I called up to all these different places, they're all saying 2-3 months stay, 2-3 months stay in detox before coming here because we don't have an opening. But there's one in Arroyo said, "If you come here Tuesday, we can admit you." That was a trip. Wow, come there Tuesday. It was like I wasn't ready for that.
So you went through detox, and then tell us a little bit about what education you did and what career path you took thereafter, and then how did that lead to your coaching businesses?
Well, the education, once I got clean and sober, I mean, I'm going on 19 years clean and sober right now, and 18 years no smoking, and drugs is the same thing. So 19 years. So when I got out, I said I wanted to become someone. I always wanted to become someone, and I didn't really want to hang around with the people I was hanging with. It was totally becoming someone different. So I went to the learning school. So I got people 15, 20 years junior to my age, and they're sitting there talking to me, talking about the party they did, and I'm like 6 months clean sober. I wanted to take this guy in the back and just give him a wallop upside the head. Just, leave me alone. I don't want to hear about your crap. But I was a very angry person at first, very angry person. So I decided to myself, "Look, I'm just going to do this. I'm not here to beat anybody up. I'm not here to get in any fights or lose a fight or whatever I got to do. I'm here to actually get the education I need to move forward." So then I did that. I moved forward. I got into Georgian College. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, so I saw a counselor and we directed it. I ended up doing social service worker diploma. I kind of liked that. I thought it was kind of neat. Then I did my addictions degree, McMaster University. Then I also went to Lakehead University, did my psychology degree, did my master's in counseling psychology, harm reduction, mental health crisis, and then 2 honorary doctorate degrees. Now, the thing is, when I was doing all that, I was bored. I felt bored. I mean, I'm doing 2 universities at once at 10 classes, and I was actually bored. What was I doing? Why was I bored? Because I'm used to being active, used to go, 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 go. So then I put myself in a position where, okay, well, I'm going to do telecare, 12-hour shifts. I did 12-hour shifts for like 3 years straight. You know what I mean? You don't do every night. You do like 3 nights a week. But at the same time, I'm doing my exams most of the time while being there. So what I did was I'm answering a phone call and I'm putting the exam on. Thank God you have 4 hours on your exam. And I just whizzed right through it in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours all the time. So I always had that opening. And I do my assignments while sitting there too. So plus at the same time, I end up in Barrie, somehow or another, opening up my own business for counseling. So it was like at first, all these different names. It was Robert J. Moore's counseling, Rob's counseling, this and that and this, that and this. None of them worked. And finally, I found just a sequence. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the name. It was about the personality. And the reason why I took all those courses, I'm going to tell you something. The reason why I took all those courses wasn't anything to impress you. You don't see none of them on my wall for a reason. The reason why I took it is because I wanted to find out why I was being the asshole I was, why I was being the person I was, why was I behaving the way I was. And that's what I wanted to find out. So now it allowed me to learn that. Now I can read the physiology of people's faces, the attitudes, the way the body structure is. I could read people really well now because of that. It allowed me to utilize all those skills in the one, as well as my past skills of being a criminal, all in one. And it allowed me to build up the structure to be able to be a therapist for 15 years, a counselor for 12, and be able to be on stage with all these powerful people during that time. I wasn't actually a coach at the time at this point, but I was leaning towards the coaching area because what happened was I started getting too close to people with the drugs and alcohol. And I felt like I was wearing my heart on my sleeve and I wasn't making any money. I was going downhill. I was losing. I was paying rent back then. I was like, well, how am I going to do to pay rent? I ended up meeting up with this guy at an event one time. This is what changed my whole life around. I met a guy once and he was telling me, look, no matter what happens, stay strong. Stay strong, man. And he was pointing out the fact of that, hey, listen, if you ask God why you're going through the rapid, waters at the moment, he'll probably come back and tell you that your enemies can't swim. And I thought about that. I said, this is good. I said, I like that. But this guy that was sitting beside me smelled a lot like pig shit, like he was on the farm. Straight out forward, man. I didn't like that smell, but I said to myself, this could be a client of mine. Oh, yeah, I guarantee this could be a client, man. There's no two ways about it. So I'm leaning towards it. I'm thinking, well, I'm pretty good to myself, not really listening to what's going on in the crowd here. He left and he says, you have Facebook? I said, I do. He says, good. We'll get a hold of each other on Facebook and we'll talk some more. And I thought, okay, good. I mean, what should I charge this guy? How should I do it? It's my first client ever. He gets a hold of me. And man, what a twist that was. He was the operations manager of Think and Grow Rich. He was just helping a friend out move on the pig farm. That was not going to be my client. And guess what? It turned out to be me actually getting coached by him. So what a trip.
Wow. First of all, incredible story. And talk about overcoming adversity in many, many levels. And happy birthday. And also congratulations on the years of sobriety and not smoking. That's amazing. And congratulations for that. So I want to transition now to coaching. Okay. So what do you find, let's say, now as a coach? First of all, tell us a little bit about your coaching. I want to start with that so that we can people can get to know who you are and how to get a hold of you. And also what are the things that you focus on a lot of times with people that are afraid or stuck in that rut or, have failed a few times and are afraid to fail again or, whatever that conversation is to get them to start understanding. And obviously you're one of my coaches, and I'm thankful for you in my life, and you've definitely guided me in the right direction. But tell us a little
Well,
bit
as you
about.
know, first of all, when you look at the situation, I mean, I don't care about the person's feelings. I mean, I'm a straight shooter. One thing I'll say straight up forward, I'm a straight shooter. And the reason why I do it that way is because I don't want to work on someone's emotions and sit there and say, oh, they did it this way, that. Well, they're enabling you. All right. I help build people's businesses. I don't sit there and procrastinate the bullshit, part of my language. But I mean, straight up forward, you need to hear the truth, and you're going to hear the truth. What I do is in my coaching, I upbrand people. I teach people different necessities to upbrand them. I let them learn the structure and the foundation of their business. And I allow them to build the structure so that when they're sleeping, they can actually make some money. So they could put the emails go up by themselves, and they come in by themselves, and you got leads coming in by themselves. I'll tell you right now, in the last 3 weeks, I got a list over here of 30,000 leads that I'm going through. My system is going through itself. And I don't have to worry too much, because when they start coming back with the answers, that's when I talk to them. It fills up my calendar, and I don't have to worry. I don't have to go out of my way to do anything. Now, I've hired two of the best coaches in the world on top of me, because the people that I coach, I don't want to make it to my level and then pass me. So I got to keep coaching too. So I've hired Armin Morin, top strategist in the world. He's done anywhere from $1.53 when he started, I think in 88, 89. And now he's done online 100%, over $200 million in sales. Now you got another guy, which is Satish Verma. He's the CEO of Think and Grow Rich. I'm being certified by him for my coaching and everything else. Now, I didn't just start coaching now. I've been coaching for 15 years. And I used to own Magnetic Entrepreneur. A lot of people know me through that. If you Google me, you'll see me. I've won the Guinness World Records. I've been in Forbes magazines. I've just won Forbes Business Awards, just gave me Legacy Award for coaching. And I just won Canadian Business Award, Best Business in Canada 2024. And this business has only been open since February. And I'm getting recognized. The reason why I'm getting recognized is not the business, it's the quality of stuff that I'm doing behind the scenes that everybody sees. Everybody knows my name. My name is Robert J. Moore. You can find me at Robert J. Moore on Facebook or LinkedIn, or you can find me on Next Level Coaching, Inc.com. You know what I mean? If you want to work with me, talk to me. I got a lot of different things going on. Now, my programs, the first 3 programs, you won't see me. You'll see me on video. But if you actually physically want to work with me, then the first program that I have, I'm going to tell you something. I built a program that is going to certify people as a coach. I will certify them personally. And that's what Joseph is going through right now. He's doing the certification part of it. But here's the thing. You guys are all helping me build the program. At the same time, we're utilizing that in your business to build it at the same time as building the structured program that I'm doing. And guess what? Now you have a running program like I have. It builds the program and it certifies you. I'm backing you up 100%. And I won't certify you until I know I'm backed up, you know what I mean, 100%. And I won't let nobody slide. So I take 10 people a year. I build a structured program. And for a year, this year on, every year I'm going to do a program like that. It's usually 2 hours a week. Not a big deal for 10 months. But the other program I have is work with me one-on-ones directly. And that's just you and me in the business. And we do VIP days and everything.
Right. So and I know in the roller coaster of life that I've had and change of careers, a lot of times, and I want you to address this because I think the coaching world also, I think mentors and coaches are extremely important. But there's a lot of coaches there that kind of say, oh, you need to buy this program. And then when you buy this program, if you really want to get to the next level, you have to buy the next program. And then you have to buy the next program. And so there's also this kind of, how do you find the right coach? And so what do you say to people that, are interested in you, but again, have been burnt before or, have tried a few things, haven't really gotten results. And now it's kind of like, even though you have a reputation, lots of people can have a reputation. So could you speak to that a little bit?
Well, first of all, when you're looking at having a coach, I want you to remember one thing. I'm going to talk at the first part of it. The first part of it, I did it myself. Everybody else did it. We went to all these different programs. Oh, Tony Robbins is in town. Oh, Kyle Wilson's in town. Oh, Robert J. Moore's in town. Oh, Les Brown's in town. We got to go see them all. Well, the only problem is you're doing that is, yeah, you're doing great on sitting there getting to know people, right? You're intertwining with everybody else and meeting people. That's great. But the thing is, so many people are interested in what these people are doing because, oh, they're millionaires. They're doing well. How am I doing this? When I go to a meeting, I'm going to tell you something. When I go to an event, Tony Robbins or something like that, I look how they build it, how they built it, how many pieces of paper, what kind of pieces of paper they have, how's he dressed, is there TVs up and around, how is it focused, how's he getting his message out there, how's he doing his marketing. The reason why I'm doing that is because I can get his stuff free online. I can get all his stuff free online. Not only that, I've spoken on stage with Tony Robbins and a bunch of them anyways. So when I look at the situation, I'm not going there to actually impress all my friends. I'm going there to find out how he's doing it so I could take a piece of that home and make it happen for me. All right. Now, the thing is, I've studied 52 of the top achievers, 52 of them, and not all of them were alive. Right? Not all of them were alive. Some of them were deceased, and you still buy programs to get yourself in there. Now, if you want a coach that's actually going to coach you and not enable you, someone that actually prides on your emotions, and I'm not saying all of them do, I'm not saying all of them are bad or anything of the sort, but what I'm saying is you can also tell if you're getting somewhere. If you're paying $3,000 and you don't feel like you're moving forward in a month or two or actually achieving something or hearing something that really impresses you, time to leave. Coaches are okay with that. The ones that get defensive are the ones that actually know they're not doing well and they're just trying to hang on to that one person or two people or three people, right? I don't chase people. I do not chase people. I have people come to me and say, look, I'd like to work with you. Now, I'll tell you, be honest with you, I am strict. Not everybody can handle that. I've had people pay me and, they worked with me 2-3 times and sit there and say, I can't do this. I said, why? They said, because it's too much to face at once. So now what I do is, because of the fact I know the emotions, the fact I know the behavior, the fact I know how to read people, I take it to their level and I build it from a structured level where they're at, but I'm still pushing it towards it. I mean, I'm not taking away the empathy or sympathy or anything like that. I'm letting them hold the emotion and build it up. So when they're doing that, they're actually structuring their business. They're taking away the holes, the flaws, and allowing their business to grow. And that's the best way I like doing it.
Okay, excellent. So we have about 10 minutes left. Obviously, first of all, your story is fascinating, and congratulations on all you've achieved so far. So people that are, and I want to kind of bring it back to Next Level Coaching, which is your new business. We've kind of put on the ticker your website for people to see, but in terms of just kind of ideas or thoughts of growing, and somebody that's broke right now, somebody that's been burned, somebody that's afraid of taking that leap of faith, what would you say to them that would be like, here's in a, you can do this, or what, there's plenty of opportunity, there's abundance for everybody, there's lots of motivation to that. But as someone who's gone through so much, where going from jail to being recognized as one of the best coaches in the world, and having so much accolades, obviously it wasn't easy. And the fact that you mentioned that you did,
No, I would never say it was easy either. It never will be. Now, the thing is, here's the thing. I've helped people living on the streets, right? We made payment plans. We talked about things. We said, okay, for the first 3 months at that time, depends who the person is. I'm just giving you one example. I can't say I'm doing this for everybody or anybody, right? Basically, what I've done is in the past, I gave the guy 3 months to get ahead. Get off the street. Let's get you in the house where you feel comfortable, where you feel okay with yourself, so you shower, you can have something to eat daily. Let's get you set up so we can put you in that position first before we get you on with the business. I've had a guy right now, he's in BC. He says, listen, I don't know what I want to do for a business. So we wean out the situation. We talk about the situation. We look at the pros and cons of all of it. We map it out. We map it out one way, map it out another way. And I love doing mapping because it allows me to see the behavior and the thoughts and the process that goes into this person's life. You know what I mean? The problem is, though, a lot of people take the easy way. Now, you want to be somebody, but you want to take it the easy way. Now, the problem is a lot of people are focusing on the money. Oh, I'm homeless. I need money this. I need money that. Yes, you do. But guess what? You have to show people your passion. When you give people your passion, you give someone a solution to a problem, they're going to want to work with you. So now you have a solution to a problem that they need. They're going to come with you. Now, remember, people are going to come and go. Don't take offense to it. Don't take offense to the people that come and go because they get what they need out of you at that time, and God tells them time to move on. That's all it is. So no offense to you, nothing against you. But listen, I had hard times. I struggled to be here. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The reason why I'm here is because of people like yourself. You allowed me to be here. You helped me be here. You supported me when you knew it was rough. And you guys said, listen, I've heard people sit there and say, oh, Robert's not going to do anything. Robert can't do this. Robert can't do that. I'm an outside box thinker. When I seen another coach doing the exact same thing I'm doing, well, guess what? I go quiet for about a month on Facebook and on the internet. I build a program outside the box. I start putting it out there, and all of a sudden I fill a room with 200 people. And now it's like, wow, this guy's not doing that. Or what I'm doing is I'm bringing in speakers that nobody has heard in a long time. You got to think outside the box. These people, and these people are all coaches. They're all sharing the same speakers. Oh, Les Brown's coming down. This person's coming down. That person's coming down. They're all the same speakers. Well, guess what? I'll get Kyle Wilson down, Jim Rohn's ex-business partner, and I'll get him to speak. And guess what? I bet you haven't heard from him in a long time. And guess what? You know he's well off. You know he's doing exactly well. Or Armin Morin, top strategist in the world. You don't see him around here, but guess what? He's a top strategist in the world. You start mentioning these things, start putting that together, and follow your dreams. Put it from your head to your heart. Put the emotion behind it, man. It'll go. If you're new in your beginning, if you are beginning at doing this, don't sit there and, oh, I failed. It's called fall forward, man. That's it. That's all you do is falling forward, take 2 more steps, get up.
I love how you tied that in because, as a corporate culturist, I often talk about the fact that even the best leaders in organizations know what they know. So,
Yeah.
When it comes to having leaders, having business coaches, or having mentors, you might be a great CEO of a Fortune 100 company, but you might be disconnected completely with how the entry level people are thinking or behaving. And so, I often reference this, but the show Undercover Boss, I'm always amused at the end of the show when the CEO or whoever the executive that went under goes, oh my God, I should talk to the people that work here. I might get some insights. And, how amazing would it be if more organizations took the time to actually speak to the people that work in the company and create some sort of culture where there's empowerment, where there's a level of consistency. And I think you mentioned this earlier, and you just tied this in now, where you hire people like Armin Morin to coach you, to get you so much higher, and then you teach people that are starting out at a easier to entry kind of coaching program.
It depends on the level they're at. I mean, you're
Right.
not a beginner, so I don't teach you beginner stuff.
Right, but there's also a level where I think one of the things that I've always thought is very important, and I want your final 2 cents on that, and please tell us a bit about next level coaching as well, because we have a few minutes left, is that, if you're looking to make, let's say, 50 grand, find a coach that's made at least 50 grand. When you get to 50 grand and you want to get to the next level, find a coach that can get you to, let's say, 100 grand. When you get to 100 grand, find a coach that can get you to $250,000. From $250,000, let's say, to $1 million, because you already have foundation. And it's no different in business because a lot of leaders might have a title, but they don't know how to interact with their people. They don't know how to treat
You
their
can make
people.
millions of dollars. I'll tell you right now, you can make millions of dollars. I've made millions of dollars. I've lost it all and started off again. You can always know a true leader when you could lose all your money and you can rebuild because you know the structure and the foundation of doing it. I see too many people chasing the money and they fail because they don't know how to build that structure. The foundation's gone. You have nothing. You know what I mean? When he's talking about these big leaders and these big people, I was in the hospital years ago, 3-4 years ago, I guess it was. I had all these big shots calling me. John Chin, executive producer, Think and Grow Rich. I had James Malchuk. He did the multi-millionaire of that show with a million, I can't remember what it was, $1 million or something or another. Uncover Millionaire, that was it. And all these different people calling me up, Kyle Wilson, and they kept saying to me, we need you. And I'm thinking, what the hell are they talking about? They need me. I said, I'm the underdog here. Well, what they meant by that was, and John Chin told me, he says, listen, what we mean by is when we say we need you is because you're representing us. We need somebody that's going to represent us and keep us going, right? I mean, you may not be doing the same stuff that we're doing, but you're representing part of us. People know that you're on stage with us. People know that you're with us. Got a chunk here, a chunk here, a chunk here. You took all these 52 people and made one ball program that I am today. So he was willing to actually fly a jet down here when I was in the hospital, fly his jet down here in COVID, give me a CD player just to watch Think and Grow Rich and then fly back.
Wow.
And that's a good friend.
So again, we got a couple minutes left. Next level coaching. Okay. So tell us a little bit about that. Again, we have put your email and everything throughout on the ticker, but what will people experience with you at Next Level Coaching? And
I interview a lot of top end people. I mean, if you go through just the membership parts, there's 2 to 3 different membership parts. If you go through the membership parts, what you're going to see is you're going to see me interviewing some high end people. So maybe some Buccaneers, maybe some people from, very high end people. These people give you nuggets. There was one from Darman the other day. I'm not going to tell you big names yet right here, but there's a lot of big names I deal with. And I'm not one to really brag about this. I mean, I do this because I want to feed you guys the information, give you guys nuggets, get you guys where you need to be. I've been to the top. And the reason why I let my other business go is when I was at the top, I felt lonely. And the reason why is because I wasn't bringing enough people with me. And that's why I took 6 months off, bought another franchise, and then came back and started this one. But this one I'm doing on a whole different level. That's why it's Next Level Coaching. Because I'm going the next level to do things. I'm going up to grab things up there and then making sure that I grab all that stuff up there, utilize the stuff I have, and put it together so that people now can have a better generation when they go forward.
Awesome, Robert. And again, thank you very much for being our guest. For those of you who missed it, Next Level Coaching, Robert will definitely give you the tools and, we'll give you a good kick in the behind when you need it. But at the end of the day, he does it from a place of love because it's not selling you the raw. It's actually foundational work that you need to do to level up. And that's why I'm honored to call him a friend. It's not easy work either.
It's not for everybody.
So that's pretty much our show. Thank you for, again, listening. I hope you have a great night, a great morning, or a great afternoon, depending on when you're listening from. My name is JosefStetter, and I'm the Resume Whisperer. Have yourself a beautiful and productive day.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium, I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school. This class is the best. This is the best school ever.
You should take it. It's just, it will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.